Senate passes electoral amendment bill. Fire. Good evening, and thank you for joining us on the news around the world. I am Josephine Oluwabome, and on the sign language canal is Shakirat Ogundeji. The crescent moon for the commencement of the holy month of Ramadan has been sighted in Saudi Arabia. Following the sighting of the crescent for the new month, the Saudi authorities will announce Wednesday, the 18th February 2026 as the first of the holy month of Ramadan. Earlier, it was announced that the moon sighting would take place in Awad Duzal and Tumar in al-Majar governorate. Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic calendar and the holiest month of the year. It commemorates the revelation of the Quran to Prophet Muhammad on the night of decree, Laylatul Qadr, observed during the last 10 nights of Ramadan. The Senate on Tuesday passed the Electoral Act 2022 Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2026. Before the passage, there was a rowdy session as the upper chamber resumed proceedings with a demand for division over Clause 60 raised by Senator Iyinaya Abaribe, ADC Abia South. The Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, stated that he believed the demand had previously been withdrawn, but several opposition senators immediately objected to that claim. The Senate President sustained the point of order, after which Senator Abaribe rose in protest and was urged to formally move his motion. Rising under Order 72 when Abaribe called for a division on Clause 63, specifically concerning the provision that if electronic transmission of results fails, Form EC8A should not serve as the sole basis, calling for the removal of the proviso that allows for manual transmission of results in the event of network failure. However, when the votes were counted, the Senate President announced that 15 senators were not in support of the proviso, while 55 senators voted in support of it. Opposition lawmakers in the House of Representatives on Tuesday condemned moves to amend Clause 60 of the Electoral Act Amendment Bill. The controversial clause, earlier passed by the House, provides for real-time transmission of election results from polling units to a central viewing center of the Independent National Electoral Commission. Pressure mounted on the House earlier in the week, forcing the Committee on Electoral Matters to propose that the bill be rescinded. With opposition lawmakers insisting on retaining the earlier version, Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu sided with legislators of the ruling party who maintained that the House should adopt the Senate version. Recall that the National Assembly has set up conference committees in the Senate and the House of Representatives to reconcile the two versions of the bill. While the House approved real-time electronic transmission of election results in its Amendment Act, the Senate okayed the amendment with a caveat that where real-time transmission fails, manual transmission would suffice. Chaos erupted on Tuesday at the National Assembly when Nigeria Police Force personnel fired tear gas at protesters gathered to express opposition to the Senate's approval of both electronic transmission and manual collation of election results. The incident occurred at the main entrance after some demonstrators attempted to force their way into the building. Hundreds of protesters, including women, were in panic, with some falling over each other in their bids to escape the tear gas. An activist and former presidential candidate, Omoyele Sowore, described the police action as a direct attack on democracy. According to him, the act is a declaration of war against participatory democracy. Sowore added that the protesters were merely demanding access to the gallery during an emergency session, arguing that citizens should have the right to monitor proceedings within the National Assembly. The protesters also expressed that with the action of the police, they will not relent until they achieve their aim. President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday urged the Senate to consider and confirm the nomination of Ambassador Ismail Yusuf for appointment as the Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of the National Hajj Commission, NARCON. In a similar vein, the President also asked the Red Chamber to confirm the nomination of Rear Admiral Jamila Abubakar Marafa, retired from Adamawa State, as the National Commissioner of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. The requests were contained in 2 letters transmitted by the President and read by Senate President Godswill Akpabio during the plenary. After reading the letters, Akpabio preferred the nomination of Yusuf and Marafa to the Committee on Foreign Affairs and Electoral Matters, respectively, for further legislative work and to report back in 1 week. We shall now go for a short commercial break. Please stay tuned.
Win your share of 3 billion naira with Nivea. 1,000 naira airtime guaranteed with every entry. Become one of 10 billionaires weekly or win a chance to see Real Madrid live. 3 SUVs to be won. Buy any Nivea 400ml promo product, scratch and dial to enter.
Buy any participating Coca-Cola glass or PET bottle and stand a chance to win your share of 600 million naira in cash and seriously tasty prizes. There's 2 new millionaires every single day, plus over 50 million naira in weekly prizes. It's easy. Scan the QR code. Find your unique code under the cap or tab and check to see if you've won. Coca-Cola, a recipe for wonder.
Win your share of 3 billion naira with Nivea. 1,000 naira airtime guaranteed with every entry. Become one of 10 billionaires weekly or win a chance to see Real Madrid live. 3 SUVs to be won. Buy any Nivea 400ml promo product, scratch and dial to enter.
Welcome back. The Defense Headquarters DHQ has confirmed the arrival of 100 U.S. military personnel and equipment Bauchi Airfield. Defense spokesperson Samaila Uba in a statement said the deployment follows a recent security agreement between Nigeria and the U.S. He noted that the federal government had made a formal request to the U.S. for assistance in terms of military training, technical support, and intelligence sharing with the members of the Nigerian Armed Forces. Uba revealed that the U.S. personnel are technical specialists serving strictly in an advisory and training capacity. While noting that the U.S. personnel are not combat forces, the defense spokesman noted that all training activities will be conducted under the authority, direction, and control of the federal government and in close coordination with the Nigerian military. Uba said Nigerian troops, alongside the U.S. trainers, will commence a series of joint training engagements and intelligence-focused cooperation initiatives in the coming days. President Bola Tinubu on Tuesday unveiled Nigeria's Industrial Policy 2025, urging relevant ministries, departments, and agencies to ensure its swift implementation. The president, represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, launched the policy at the Bola Tinubu International Conference Center, Abuja. This was contained in a statement signed by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Communications, Office of the Vice President Stanley Nkocha. According to Tinubu, the policy serves as a roadmap for re-engineering Nigeria's industrial base, unlocking value across sectors, and placing production, competitiveness, and job creation at the center of the nation's economic strategy. He emphasized that policies rarely fail at conception, but at execution. Addressing the deficiencies in Nigeria's industrial landscape, President Tinubu lamented that the country had long grappled with insufficient coordination between government and industries. The First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, on Tuesday urged traditional and religious leaders to throw their full weight behind the federal government's National Community Food Bank program. She warned that no eligible family must be left behind as the initiative rolls out nationwide in April. The First Lady stated this while speaking at the National Traditional and Religious Leaders Summit on Health 2026 held at the State House Banquet Hall, Abuja. She added that the program is in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare and the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency will operate through the nationwide. Senator Oluremi Tinubu further disclosed that willing private sector partners and public-spirited Nigerians with oversight entrusted to credible Nigerians to ensure accountability would bankroll the initiative through a trust fund fed. Oyo State has joined the global community in commemorating the International Day of Zero Tolerance for Female Genital Mutilation, reaffirming its commitment to ending the harmful practice. At a sensitization program organized by the wife of the Oyo State Governor, stakeholders, traditional leaders, women groups, and traditional birth attendants gathered to create awareness about the dangers of female genital mutilation. Staff reporter Gbemisola Adebayo reports.
24-year-old Titi Aderibigbe, not a real name, is a survivor of female genital mutilation. She says she has endured severe pain for over 17 years as a result of the procedure carried out on her without the knowledge of her father. She shared her experience with BCOS News.
While I was 7 years old, I do complain about vaginal pains. Then I do tell my late mom then, so she would always examine me and then ask questions like, hope nobody touched you, hope nobody fingered you and everything. And then I would tell her that there's nothing like that. So fast forward to 2020, I keep having those pains. Even till now, I can't stand for so long. I do urinate blood, like I will see urine in my blood. So I stopped going to the hospital and I stopped complaining. At times when I go, they will tell me it is infection. So I kept managing myself. Even while I'm ovulating for like 6 days, I will not be able to walk. Like people would definitely know that something is wrong. Then fast forward to after my NYC, after camp, I was posted to a non-governmental organization, MASD. So then we had a project on FGM at Iseyin for declaration to stop FGM. So I summoned the courage after everything, and I got home that night. I told her that I would like to discuss something with her. And she said, okay. And I told her my problems. She was like, those problems are, they are FGM symptoms. And I said, no, that I don't ask my dad. My dad will be like, no, there's nothing like that. Adding me, my mom has done something of such. They are very close while she was alive. She would have discussed that. When she checked through, she told me that this is FGM. I was like, no, I burst into tears because I was lied, I was betrayed for almost 20 years.
Titi's story reflects the experiences of many girls and women who continue to suffer different forms of complications arising from genital mutilation. To mark the International Day of Zero Tolerance for FGM and further sensitize the public on its harmful effects, the wife of Oyo State Governor, Mrs. Tamuno Minini Makinde, organized an awareness program which drew key stakeholders across the state. Addressing participants, Mrs. Makinde, represented by the wife of the Deputy Governor, Mrs. Ajibola Lawal, reiterated the state government's zero-tolerance stance on FGM. She stressed that beyond advocacy and public enlightenment, the government has strengthened collaboration with community leaders, health professionals, and civil society organizations to ensure strict enforcement of laws prohibiting the practice.
I want to call on all the stakeholders present here today, community birth attendants, traditional leaders, law enforcement agencies, and traditional rulers to continue to educate members of society about the dangers of female genital mutilation and also encourage them to speak up against the harmful practice in order to put a total end to female genital mutilation.
Earlier, in a welcome address, the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Inclusion, Mrs. Toyin Balogun, noted that the event highlighted the need to safeguard the rights, health, and dignity of the girl child in line with the global efforts led by the United Nations to eliminate FGM worldwide.
Protecting our girls should not be seen as a rejection of culture, but it is an affirmation of our shared humanity. Let us all endeavor to move beyond rhetoric. Let this gathering ignite renewed determination and inspire coordinated action.
Guest speakers at the program, including Dr. Tunde Aremu from the State Ministry of Health and Mrs. Olubumiare from the Ministry of Justice, outlined the physical, psychological, and emotional consequences of FGM, describing it as a violation of human rights with no medical benefits. They also warned of legal consequences of engaging in the act, noting that offenders are liable to prosecution under the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act and other relevant state laws. Stakeholders at the event, including representatives of traditional circumcisers in the state, pledged their support in the collective efforts to eradicate female genital mutilation in Oyo State. The event was attended by the State Head of Service, Mrs. Olubumioni, Commissioner for Special Duties, Alaja Ajoke Soni, among many other important dignitaries. Gbemisola Adebayo, BCOS News.
The Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde, has banned roadside trading around Bodija markets and directed the state's rule of law enforcement agency to arrest anyone who violates the directive. Governor Makinde made this known during the official commissioning of 540 modern shops and a motor park at Bodija Market, which he named Aliaji Aderemi Jimo Park. Details are presented by the Governor's Office correspondent, Sulaiman Olalekan.
At the event, Governor Seyi Makinde said that the development reflects his administration's commitment to restoring order and improving the trading environment in the area. He added that traders currently operating across the road will be relocated within the next 6 months. The governor also noted that the shops were built from the state's commonwealth and will be allocated free of charge to beneficiaries.
540 stores ló wà bí wọn ò ní gba £1 lọ́wọ́ ẹnì kankan. Orúkọ yìí wà lọ́wọ́ wa. Tí anybody tí ó ti forúkọ sílẹ̀ nígbà tí mo wá address yìí first tí wọn ò bá allocate fún yẹn jẹ́ kí n mọ̀. Wọn ò tiẹ̀ lè ṣe, they will allocate it to you.
In his welcome address, the chairman of the North Local Government, Honorable Shehu Olufade, commended Governor Seyi Makinde for his unwavering commitment to people-centered governance. He described the project as further evidence of the governor's dedication to improving the lives of residents, adding that his presence at the event was more than ceremonial, but a demonstration of his love and responsibility towards the people of Oyo State.
This modern facility we are commissioned today stands as yet another proof of your people-centered leadership. You saw the challenges our traders face operating by the roadside, exposure to harsh weather, insecurity, and environmental hazard, and took your decisive action. Today, our trader will be relocated from the roadside into comfortable, well-structured shop provided free of charge.
Olufade further stressed that providing the shop free of charge highlights the administration's practical and compassionate approach to governance, reflecting Governor Makinde's resolve to always seek better alternatives before making decisions that affect the people. In his goodwill message, the Babaloja General of Oyo State, Alhaji Ekine Abbas, appreciated the governor for the massive project and urged traders to desist from roadside trading. Delivering the vote of thanks, the Babaloja of Bodija Market, Alhaji Aderemi Jimo, expressed gratitude to the governor on behalf of the traders for providing them with comfort and ease in conducting their businesses. The event had in attendance the Deputy Governor, Barrister Lawal, the Speaker, State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Adebo Ogundoyin, represented by the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Mohammed Fadeyi, the Secretary to the State Government, Professor Musba Babatunde, State and Federal lawmakers, the State Head of Service, Mrs. Olubumi Oni, the Chief of Staff to the Governor, Honorable Shegun Ogunwuyi, Senator Monsurat Sumanu, commissioners, political appointees, among whom was the chairman of BCOS, Mrs. Dotun Olaitan Olalekan Sulaiman. BCOS News.
In a bid to enhance the state government's educational initiatives, Honorable Adebo Ogundoyin, Speaker of the Oyo Assembly, has handed over a newly constructed secondary school to the government. The secondary school, situated in Temidire, Ibarapa East Local Government Area, exemplifies Honorable Ogundoyin's dedication to enhancing educational standards within his constituency. BCOS reporter Olamiposi Ishola has the details.
We commissioned this project to the glory of God Almighty and for the use of people of the Temidire, in the name of God the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
A significant milestone was achieved with the commissioning of a new secondary school at Temidire Rua, underscoring the dedication of the Speaker of Oyo Assembly, Honorable Adebo Ogundoyin, to complementing Governor Seyi Makinde's initiatives in education. Before the school's construction, Temidire and its environs, which include 14 villages with a minimum of 14 primary schools, did not have one secondary school. Speaking at the event, the Speaker, Honorable Adebo Ogundoyin, appreciated the people of Temidire for their cooperation, support, and patience through the execution of the project. The Speaker called on the community, parents, teachers, and students to take full ownership of the school and protect it as a collective asset.
Project ìlérí tí mo ṣe nígbà gbogbo campaign tá à ń ṣe lọ́tún lósì mo mọ̀ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ náà pé lẹ́nìí on the 17th of February àti rí project eléyìí ṣe àdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ náà. Tá a bá rí gbogbo classroom wa a máa rí pé standard project la ṣe sí ìlú Temidire àdúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ náà fún àtọ̀sọ́nà ti ministry lórí specification project. Lọ́dẹ̀ láyọ̀ láti kéde pé ẹ̀kọ́ kíkọ́ máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní September oṣù kẹsàn-án ní 2026 ní agbára náà.
Some of the stakeholders and community leaders who attended the event applauded Honorable Ogundoyin for the impressive projects he facilitated in his constituency.
This set the tone for our commitment to academic excellence and innovation, so it will provide a foundation for our children to grow, learn, and thrive together. We are grateful to you, sir, Right Honorable Speaker, for making a dream of over 30 years to come to pass through you, sir.
And you may not know the impact of what you have done today until when testimony starts coming 25-30 years time. That if not that I attended this school, I would have been somewhere else. So we want to say that we are very grateful for what you have done because you have opened the door of secondary school education.
As the representative of Ibarapa East constituency, this school adds to a growing list of legacy projects aimed at improving the quality of life of the people. These include construction of the commissioning of a functional primary health center at Lagaye, the building of a mosque at Oluru, the completion of a Rua Youth Movement Secretariat, the construction of a cold room for the butchers, and the sunken of about 30 boreholes across communities. Others included regular empowerment programs for constituents, facilitation of numerous employment opportunities, provision of bursaries for students, and many other impactful interventions. Olamiposi Ishola, BCOS News.
Time for another short commercial break. Please stay with us.
Buy any participating Coca-Cola glass or PET bottle and stand a chance to win your share of 600 million naira in cash and seriously tasty prizes. There's 2 new millionaires every single day, plus over 50 million naira in weekly prizes. It's easy. Scan the QR code. Find your unique code under the cap or tab and check to see if you've won. Coca-Cola, a recipe for wonder.
You're welcome back. The Ibadan Golf Club marked the end of an era with a colorful and memorable Captain's Day ceremony. After 2 dedicated terms at the helm, outgoing captain Seyi Alaba officially bowed out, capping out a full week of competitive golf that brought together caddies, veterans, super veterans, and professionals from across the club. The celebrations featured intense on-course action, prize presentations, heartfelt tributes, and a promise of continued support for the club's future leadership. Our man, Toby Ajewale, brings the full report from the greens of Ibadan Golf Club.
The Ibadan Golf Club bid a fond farewell to his outgoing captain, Seyi Alaba, as the week-long celebrations for the 2026 Captain's Day reached a grand climax on February 14th. Over the past 7 days, the prestigious club hosted a series of exciting golfing competitions, bringing together caddies, veterans, super veterans, and professional players in spirited contests. Winners across the categories walked away with well-deserved prizes, showcasing their depth of talent within the club. In his valedictory address, Captain Seyi Alaba expressed deep gratitude to the entire membership of the Ibadan Golf Club for their unwavering support throughout his 2 terms in office.
It's been a good privilege for me to serve as the captain of Ibadan Golf Club. And then I, myself, and the entire ESCO member, we've done our bit. And I think there is time for the club to have a fresh leadership, that will take the club to another greater heights, to start from where we will stop and take it to another level, because the club needs some fresh ideas again, to keep up evolving, to keep up with the world-class golf clubs.
He also pledged his continued backing for the incoming captain as the club looks ahead to new leadership.
Anybody that emerges as the captain of the club already know the standard. So he should not look focused. He should try his best with his team to make sure that they sustain the standard of this club, because we are not where we project ourselves to be. We are still working towards that, and we hope that with the set of people we have now, God's willing, we will get there.
Chairman of the event, Comrade Bayo Titilola Sodo, noted that while Captain Alaba is stepping down, his extensive network and influence will remain a valuable asset to the club for years to come.
He must be one of the best, if not the best ever captain this club ever had. He has impacted Ibadan Golf Club in so many ways, physically, or exposure. The brand has been tremendously improved during his tenure. IGC is now on the world map of golfing. A player of this club, a member of this club, has just been listed on the world golf ranking system. These are achievements during his tenure. In fact, we are not going to miss him because we are going to tie him down. We need his experience, we need his skills, we need his network, we need his vision.
The occasion drew distinguished guests, including Mr. Rashid Adebisi, captain of the Ikeja Golf Club, who joined members to mark the milestone.
Yes, it's somebody that is very focused and is an achiever. He tries as much as possible to do what he has in mind to do and achieve. Because let me be honest with you, golf course is not an easy thing to maintain. Apart from the cost and your members to try as much as possible to satisfy people as a leader. He has been a good man and a good person that will all try as much as possible to pray that he has a good ending.
The event itself was a vibrant affair, attracting people from all walks of life to the beautifully manicured greens. Attendees enjoyed sumptuous meals in a lively and elegant atmosphere that truly captured the spirit of camaraderie at the club. As the Ibadan Golf Club turns the page to a new chapter, the celebration served as a befitting tribute to Captain Sheyi Alaba's dedicated service. Toby Ajewole, BCOS News.
The executive chairman of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, Mrs. Dotun Olaitan, has received a delegation from the Civil Society Network on Peace and Restorative Justice, also known as Civis Peace. The visit was aimed at seeking partnership and media support for community safety awareness programs designed to address the growing number of out-of-school children in parts of Oyo State. Our correspondent, Oyeshile Oloyede, reports.
A delegation from the Civil Society Network on Peace and Restorative Justice, led by members of its board or trustees, paid a costly visit to the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State to explore areas of collaboration. The meeting focused on the group's proposed community safety awareness and sensitization meetings across selected local government areas in the state. The executive director of Civil Peace, Professor Adegbolagun George, highlighted the connection between the increasing number of out-of-school children and challenges such as poverty, illiteracy, insecurity, and vulnerability to crime. He also introduced the School Inside School model, a flexible learning approach designed to provide educational opportunities for children while promoting safer and more inclusive school environment.
We believe every child deserves access to quality education, and we are committed to supporting the government's efforts to improve health education outcomes for all. And the meeting that we are proposing, that we spearhead this, the functioning of this experience, that we model this experience school setting that we go to the university government. We have the objective to sensitize leaders on national re-entry policy, on community-driven education pathways, and the care for the both married and pregnant adolescent children.
Civil Space is seeking the support of BCOS through media messages, stakeholders, mobilization, and public awareness campaign to drive the initiative. In a response, the executive chairman of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, Mrs. Dotun Olaitan, welcomed the proposed partnership, stressing the importance of creating platforms where young people can confidently express their ideas and participate in community development.
You should think more seriously about including more women in your society, thereby bringing in more population of the youth. New ideas. It is these young people that know how to retain their population. So please think about involving more of them. Because our own ideas might be old school or whatever, and they do not want to embrace it. But if they see familiar faces and their peers, they will be willing to join. And
with the commitment of BCOS, both parties agreed to work together to promote safer schools and inclusive growth across Oyo State. The visit ended with a shared resolve to ensure that the partnership delivered tangible benefit for communities across the state. Oyeshile Oloyede, BCOS News.
Another short commercial break. Please don't go away.
Cadbury 3-in-1 hot chocolate, the treat you deserve.
Huh? Mr. Chef, it's a 2-finger crush.
Pass me the chicken and all purpose.
Mama Maka, we got this.
With Mr. Chef, a simple crush turns meals into culture and moments into memories.
is the true taste of home
and culture.
Mr. Chef, taste home, taste culture.
You're welcome back. We now move on to our sports desk.
Thank you for joining us on the sports segment of the news. I am Victor Opune.
The Nigeria Rugby Football Federation, NRFF, has unveiled its comprehensive 2026 calendar of activities, outlining an expansive domestic structure and a renewed drive to reposition women's rugby on the continental stage. The roadmap focuses on grassroots growth, youth development, high-performance pathways, and stronger international competitiveness in both the 7s and the 15s formats. The 2026 season will feature one of the Federation's broadest domestic frameworks in recent years, including a national 7s circuit for both men and women across all states such as Kano, Lagos, Delta, and Edo. A 6-zone national 15s league, North, South, West, Southeast, South, culminating in national finals in Abuja. Youth tournaments including Get Into Rugby 2.0 for the under-13 and under-18 and Rugby 7s at the National Youth Games under-15. Community and school competitions such as the Golden Sevens Schools Tournament and National Open 7s for the under-18. International exposure through the Africa Cup 7s, that's for the men in Mauritius, and other invitational fixtures. According to the Federation, the structure is designed to increase match exposure, strengthen talent identification, and ensure nationwide participation. A major highlight of the 2026 agenda is the revitalization of Nigeria's women's rugby program. The NRFF has submitted a bid to host the Africa Cup Women's Sevens regional qualifier in Lagos, Ogun State. Hosting the tournament would restore Nigeria's women's team to the continental rankings and provide a pathway to the Africa Women's Cup Sevens. The Federation is also exploring participation in the Rugby Africa Women's Cup Division 1 15s in Tunisia, a potential route towards qualification for Africa's elite women's rugby competition. Officials say the dual 7s and 15s strategy is aimed at building a sustainable and competitive women's program. And as we wrap up in football, Mehdi Benasha has revealed a rift that he deeply regrets as he left his role as Marseille's sporting director. The Moroccan's exit came just days after the departure of Roberto De Zerbi as manager of the French club. Benasha has admitted that the current climate at the club has been a factor in his decision. Marseille fought in the French top flight with interim coach Jacques Abadnado, leading the side to a 2-2 draw against Strasbourg on Saturday amidst protests. Supporters behind the goals at the State Velodrome boycotted the opening 15 minutes and whistled their team during the match.
And with that, we have come to the end of the news from the ever-exciting world of sports. Thank you for joining. I am Victor Opone. Over to the main desk now for the rest of the news.
On the foreign scene, 2 bomb attacks and gun battle between police and rebel fighters have killed more than a dozen people in northwest Pakistan. Foreign desk editor Folashade Akitola compiled these and other stories from Israel and United States as presented by Bimbo Akambi.
1 child and 11 security personnel were killed in an attack in Bajo district of volatile Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province on Monday, the Pakistani military said on Tuesday. 7 others, including women and children, were injured in the incident. An explosives-laden vehicle detonated while being driven towards a security checkpoint in Bajo. Local police official Zafar Khan told the press, adding that the girl was killed when a nearby building collapsed due to the force of the blast. The attack came after rescue officials said 2 people were killed earlier on Monday when explosives attached to a parked motorcycle detonated near the entrance of a police station in Banu, another district in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa near the Afghan border. Officials said at least 17 people were injured in the Banu attack. Reporting the violence in Bajoa, the news agency said a suicide bomber drove a vehicle rigged with explosives into the wall of a religious college in the district. And Hamas has rejected remarks by an Israeli government official calling for the Gaza-based group to disarm in 60 days and threatening to resume Israel's genocidal war if it fails to comply. Senior Hamas official Mahmoud Madawi said on Monday that he had no knowledge of such a demand. Madawi's comments come after Israeli Cabinet Secretary Yossi Fuchs, during a conference in Jerusalem on Monday, threatened to renew the genocidal war on Gaza if Hamas failed to disarm in 60 days, local media outlet The Times of Israel reported. A top aide to Netanyahu, Fuchs claimed that the 2-month period was requested by the United States administration. We are respecting that, he said. Without confirming when the ultimatum would exactly start, Fuchs said it might begin with the February 19 meeting of U.S. President Donald Trump's Board of Peace, a Washington-backed plan for the reconstruction of Gaza. Finally, United States civil rights leader Reverend Jesse Jackson has died peacefully at the age of 84, according to his family. A close associate of civil rights icon Martin Luther King Jr. MLK, the Baptist minister twice ran for the Democratic presidential nomination. He spent decades advocating for the rights of Black Americans and other minorities dating back to the tumultuous 1960s civil rights movement. He first entered the public eye as MLK's mentee and was with MLK when he was assassinated at the Lorraine Hotel in Memphis, Tennessee in 1968. In a 2008 interview with Al Jazeera, Jackson said MLK's slaying traumatized him and blamed the U.S. government for sowing fears among the public against his mentor without a foundation. Born Jesse Louis Bonds on October 8, 1941, in Greenville, South Carolina, Jackson was raised in the segregated U.S. South and later took the name of his stepfather, Bimbo Akombi, BCOS News.
To end the news around the world, here again are the main points. The crescent moon for the commencement of the holy month of Ramadan has been sighted in Saudi Arabia. The Senate on Tuesday passed the Electoral Act 2022, Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2026. The Oyo State Governor, Seyi Makinde, has banned roadside trading around Bodija Market and directed the state's rule of law enforcement agency to arrest anyone who violates the directive. On the foreign scene, 2 bomb attacks and a gun battle between police and rebel fighters have killed more than a dozen people in northwest Pakistan. BCOS website is live. Kindly visit www.bcostv.com. You can reach us on GoTV, channel 134 and channel 113 on Star Times. Now before I go, Nigeria belongs to us all. Do everything possible to make her great. And that ends the news around the world. On behalf of the news crew, I say thank you very much for watching. Good night.